students. Now we are looking at the word problem on volume and surface area. Word problem on volume and surface area. Now, number one, a car petrol tank is 0.8 meter long, 25 centimeter wide, and 20 centimeter deep. How many liters of petrol can it hold? A car petrol tank is 0.8 meter long, 25 centimeter wide, and 20 centimeter deep. How many liters of petrol can it hold? Now, so from the dimensions we are given here, you realize that the shape of the tank is in form of a cube, but since we are given the length, the breadth, and the height, so that means it's in form of a cuboid. You are given the length to be 0.8 meters. And since the breadth is 25 centimeter and the height is 20 centimeter. Now, for us to be able to put these figures together, they should be in the same units. So if you are converting 0.8 meters to centimeter, you multiply by 100. So that means you have 0.8 times 100 centimeter, which is same thing as 80 centimeter. So 0.8 meters in centimeters gives us 80 centimeter. The breadth is 25 centimeter and the height is 20 centimeter. So we are told to look for how many liters of petrol can it hold. Since you are talking of the liters of petrol, that means you are talking of what? The volume. The volume of the tank. So since you know that it's a cuboid, you know volume is equal to length times breadth times height, the volume of a cuboid. So you substitute the values, the length is 80, the breadth is 25, and the height is 20. So 80 times 25 times 20 is 40 centimeter cube. You know the volume you are giving here is 40 centimeter cube. And since you are now told how many liters, means you need to convert your answers in liters. So 1000 centimeter cube is equal to 1 liter. Now, what will now be the value for 40 centimeter cube? 40,000 centimeter cube is equal to x. So to be able to do it easily, let's make this a fraction. 1000 over 40,000 is equal to 1 over x. So cross multiply. 1000 times x is equal to 40,000 times 1, which will give us 40,000. 1000 x. So to get x, divide both sides by 1000. So when you divide both sides by 1000, your final answer will give you 40 liters. So that means the volume of petrol the tank can hold is 40 liters of petrol. Now let's look at the second question. A circular metal sheet 48 centimeter in diameter and 2 millimeter thick is melted and recast into a cylindrical bar 6 centimeter in diameter. How long is the bar? Now, you are talking of a metal sheet 48 centimeter in diameter. So that means a circular metal sheet. Let's say this is the metal sheet. You have this to be the metal sheet, the circular metal sheet. They said the diameter is 48 centimeter. The thickness of the sheet, so it is thick by how much? 2 millimeters. Now, let's say, you gave it to a blacksmith to now recast it, to remold it. So he melted the whole sheet, which turned to a liquid, and used it to form another bar, another metal of different shape. So let's say the metal he now used it to form is now a cylinder, like this. You are given the diameter of the new cylinder he made out of this shape. Then you are now told to look for the height. What will be the height? If diameter of the new shape he made is what? 6 centimeter. What will be the height of the shape? Now, so it means that the volume of this metal, circular metal sheet is now transformed to be the volume of this cylindrical bar. So the volume of this metal sheet should be equal to the volume of the cylindrical bar. So now here you are given the radius of, both of it is a cylinder. If both are cylinders, now you realize that the volume of a cylinder you have what? By r squared h. You need the radius and you need the height. So from this diagram you can see that the radius from here, 48 is the diameter. Divide diameter by 2, you get what? 48 divided by 2 give us 24 centimeter. Then the height is this 2 millimeter. Since both of them should be in the same unit, so what you do, to convert millimeter to centimeter, you divide it by 10. So when you 2 divided by 10 will give us 0.2 centimeter. This is now in centimeter. Are you following? Fine. Now, let's look at the dimension of this cylinder. You are only given the diameter of the new cylinder that is used to form. So, and what we need here also is what? The radius. Divide the diameter by 2, you get 3 centimeter. And what we are told to look for is the new height of this particular cylinder. Now, should understand that the volume of this circular metal sheet should be equal to the volume of the cylindrical bar. The volume of the circular metal sheet should be equal to the volume of the cylindrical bar. So, the volume of the metal sheet is what? By r squared, big R, the radius of this one, times the height of this metal sheet. Then, should be equal to the volume of this, that means by r squared, the radius of this new cylinder, times the height of this new cylinder. So when you now substitute from the above, so the pi is 22/7 times, and the radius here is 24, r squared is 24 times 24, height is now 0.2. Then is equal to, now the pi is 22/7 times, radius here is 3, then 3 r squared is 3 times 3 times, you don't know the height. Now if you multiply this, so you get 2534.4/7. So 22 times 3 times 3 times each will give us 198 each divided by 7. So when you cross multiply, you are going to get, so you cross multiply in both situations, 2534.4 times 7 is equal to 7 times 198 each. So this times this will give us 17,739.4 divided by 1,000. So should be equal to 7 times 198 will give us 1,396 each. So to get the height, divide both sides by 1,396. So your height will now give you 12.7989899 centimeter. So to the nearest 1 decimal places, to 1 decimal places, we are having 12.8 centimeter long. So the new height of this new cylinder should give you 12.8 centimeter long. Now let's look at the last example here. Now if you are given this shape looks like what did you call it? A trapezium. We are having the longer length with 4 centimeter, the shorter length is 2 centimeter. Then this is the vertical, which is 3 millimeter. The figure shows the cross section of a ruler. So if you so they now say A, calculate the volume of the ruler in centimeter cube if it is 30 centimeter long. B, If the ruler is made of plastic and has a mass of 45 grams, what is the density of the plastic in grams per centimeter cube? If the ruler is made of plastic and has a mass of 45 centimeter, what is the density of the plastic in grams per centimeter cube? C. Find the mass of the nearest grams to the nearest grams if the ruler is made of wood of density 0.7 grams per centimeter cube. Now, you are given this shape. First of all, A part of the question says, calculate the volume of the ruler in centimeter cube if it is 30 centimeter long. Now, normally you know that the volume of any shape, this since this is a ruler can be said to be a prism. That is a trapezoidal prism. So the two faces should be what? A trapezoid, and you are now given the length. So what you do, you know the general formula for the volume of a prism is base area times the height. You are given the shape of the base to be the trapezium. Then you will now first of all look for the base area, which is a trapezium, half into bracket a plus b each. So the two sides a and b is given to be 2 and 4 centimeter. Then the height is 3 millimeter. So if the height is 3 millimeter, convert it to centimeter, because since a and b are already in centimeter. So that by dividing it by 10, you get 0.3 centimeter. Substitute into the area, formula for area of a trapezium. So half into bracket a is 2 plus b is 4 times the height is 0.3 rather. 1 over 2 times 2 plus 4 is 6 times 0.3. So when you compute this, you get 0.9 centimeter square. So that will be the base area. And since we know that the volume of the shape, the solid is a prism, so which should be what? The base area times the height. So you know the volume will be what? Base area. I've calculated the area of the base to be 0.9. Then multiply by what? The height of the ruler. You are told that the ruler is 30 centimeter long. So you now substitute there. So that means 0.9 times 30 will give you 27 centimeter cube. So the volume of the ruler is 27 centimeter cube. Now, B part of the question says, if the ruler is made of plastic and has a mass of 45 grams, what is the density of the plastic in grams per centimeter cube? If the ruler is made of plastic and has a mass of 45 grams, what is the density of the plastic in grams per centimeter cube? Now, density, formula for density is what? Mass over volume. And from the question, you are given that the mass of the ruler is 45 grams. So you want to know the density. So you've calculated the volume already, which is what? The volume of the ruler is what? 27 centimeter cube. So if you now substitute the formula for density, mass over volume, you are given from the question to be what? 45 to be the mass over, you've calculated your volume to be 27. 45 divided by 27 will give us 1.667 grams per centimeter cube. Then the third part of the question says, find the mass to the nearest grams if the ruler is made of wood of density 0.7 grams per centimeter cube. Find the mass to the nearest grams if the ruler is made of wood of density 0.7 grams per centimeter cube. From this formula for density, we can make the mass distributed formula. If we bring this volume to this side, you now have mass equal density times the volume. and you know that the volume of the cylinder is of the ruler is 27 centimeter cube. So you are now told to look for the mass if the density of a wood is 0.7 grams per centimeter cube. Just substitute the value for the density, multiply it by the volume. So you get 18.9 grams to be the mass if the material is a wood. So that means 0.7 times 27 is 18.9 grams, which is approximately 19 grams. Now for the work practice, you are going to do this. A rectangular tank is 76 centimeter long, 50 centimeter wide, and 40 centimeter high. How many liters of water can it hold? Number 2. A water tank is 1.2 meters square and 1.35 meter deep. It is half full of water. How many times can a 9-liter bucket be filled from the tank? How many times can a 9-liter bucket be filled from the tank? Number 3. A measuring cylinder of radius 3 centimeter contains water to a height of 49 centimeter. If this water is poured into a similar cylinder of radius 7 centimeter, what will be the height of the water column? In case you want me to monitor your progress, you can contact me on my WhatsApp number, which is 08068309191. Send the text. Please make sure you like, subscribe, and comment on this video.